Hello everybody, welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be doing another stuff I got this week video. The truth is, I do get a lot of stuff in, mostly electronic garbage, and I've been putting off doing another stuff I got this week because, well, the last few have been cancer. So hopefully this one will be a lot better, and this has some more interesting stuff. One of the most interesting. I probably end up doing these more in the future, but I'm just going to do this one, see how it turns out. I mean, can't hurt, right? I've got like 6 subscribers and nobody watches these. So what we have here is a laundry basket of some of the more boring stuff before we get into the interesting stuff. So what we have here is just a CD player, dedicated CD, go on a rack. I believe this is manufacture date of, should say, I think 92. Yeah, 92, so yep. It is a RCA compact CD audio player. I might do separate videos on some of this stuff just to show it off a bit more in depth and see if just to show it off a bit more in depth and just see if it works. I don't even know if all this stuff works, honestly. Right here we have another piece of audio equipment, a Scott cassette deck, dual cassette deck and recorder. This stuff is kind of dirty, but I'll just show you around it. I don't know how good this is gonna look, but yeah, show you around it. We have our inputs and outputs for recording and playing. I purchased at Montgomery Ward for $199.99. Just something to think about. Next up in the basket, we have a basic just Emachines Ps2 Keyboard. What's great about this keyboard is it's out of focus. There we go. Nothing's really great about this keyboard. It's just pretty average, but it's a nice looking keyboard and it was free. One thing I do find interesting is it has the newer Windows logo style key. So this came out like probably around the Vista era, I'd assume, because of the rounded one, but it still uses the old school PS2 connector. So pretty sure that was just Emachines trying to save money over on manufacturer costs. And hey, it's probably broken now. It's not what we have in. Now what we have in here next is a Dish Network receiver box. Still has the smart card installed in it. Missing the little door though. It's just basic older model, so it can't pick up their signal anymore, but I really don't know what to do with that. A lot of this stuff, let's see. Getting pretty empty here. Just empty the basket and I'll be right back later. Got a pretty dirty carpet we need to vacuum. Alright, we also have a broken digital converter box, Access HD digital converter box. There's the model number. He said it was broken. The guy all this stuff came from, it actually came from the same guy. Said it was broken. Don't know if it works. He said take it. Don't know what I'll do with it, but I might do something with it. Here you have an antenna that was connected to one of the satellite receivers. I originally gonna get 2, but I only ended up getting 1, which is no big deal at all, considering the rest of the stuff I got as well, which will come later. Here we have a coaxial cable. Just, you know, standard coaxial cable. I've seen hundreds of these. Here we have a cable splitter. This one's kind of interesting looking just because it's in a plastic enclosure here. It looks kind of old, but it's a cable splitter. They all do the same thing. Here we have a PlayStation TV cable, which is funny because I didn't know this guy had a PlayStation. He's not too into video games. It's like a Wii and an Atari 2600 and some other stuff, which is coming later. I'll tease at that. Here we have a phone charger. It's micro USB, detachable style with a wall wart and everything. Just, you know, it'll come in handy, definitely. Threw that in because he didn't need it anymore. And here's the little plastic cap for the plastic cover, I mean, for the satellite box. So we've dumped out all that stuff. Now this is my first time actually like looking through all this. Kind of did a short inventory before, but this is my time looking through every individual item. So we have a Motorola. What model is this? Motorola i30SX. Really old looking phone. Nextel, so it's pretty old. Yeah, looks like it supports push to talk. And I'll have to maybe do another video on these old phones. Look through all of them. I don't know. I don't even know if they work. Here we have a Dish Network remote. Presumably, one point went with the other satellite dish, and it feels like there's still batteries in it. So let's. They are not. They look like they're not corroded that badly, and there's 4 of them in here. That's nice. And okay, this one's stuck in, but whatever. So we have that. I don't even know how many frames are going to be dropped in this. All right, what do we have next in here? We have a Linksys, older looking. I'll bet you it's wireless G. Well, yep, wireless G broadband router. So these things can still be useful. There's the top of it, 2.4 gigahertz. These things can still be useful, especially these antennas. They might be one of the most useful things on here. But other than that, it'd be a good little switch. And if you have older laptops and stuff, you can put them on your wireless G router, so you're not like bottlenecking your main router. Speaking of networking equipment, here we have a AT&T modem. I believe it's a DSL modem made by 2-wire. Hopefully I'm not showing too much serial information. Not like it should matter. So I'm probably not going to use this, but we have the phone line. And then it looks like it's also a network switch. We have 4 network ports. Power input. And it's really dirty. A lot of this stuff is very dirty. So we have another phone. This one might have... Okay, the screen might have gotten down on this one when I threw everything down. Oh well. This is a Nokia phone. Not seeing any model number. I'm just seeing Nokia. Yeah. So, yep, nice blue Nokia phone. Here we have something pretty interesting. It's a Super Nintendo RF switch adapter thingy. So we have, outputs to the TV. Oh, you can't see, I'm holding out a frame. You have output to the TV, input, and then here we have, somewhere tangled in here, that part that would connect to the Super Nintendo. So, that might be a hint. Hint, hint. Alright, I'm going to try to get these cables untied. Cables untied. Alright. Oh, that shifted over a bit anyway. Here we have a power cord. It's a mini USB type charger, permanently attached. It has Motorola logo, so I'm assuming it's one of those Motorola phones. That'd be a pretty safe assumption. Let's see if we can get this ready. Yep, we can. Alright. Here we have a power adapter. It says 2 wires, so I'm pretty sure it goes to that AT&T modem. And here we have another phone. That's the third one. Third older cell phone. It has a holster on it. Let's try to get that off. And it's a Motorola, again, Nextel IC402. Flip styled, no camera. And I should really check the IMEI or MEID. Anyway, I should check that number and see if these are compatible with like Ting, for instance. Use these as a Ting phone. Here we have Ethernet cable, rather short but handy. Here we have, in the mess of wires, what appears to be and is an extension cable. 2-prong extender, 3 outputs. Pretty basic, at least in the United States anyway. So that's the plugs we use anyway. Another coaxial cable. So we have that. I'm just trying to clear off this bird's nest here. Let's see. Here's that Super Nintendo RF cable. See if we can liberate it. Alright, this bit's probably going to get cut out. Maybe, I don't know. Can we liberate the Super Nintendo? Anyway, we have liberated the Super Nintendo RF adapter. I have to hold it lower. Man, this whole filming thing stuff is really difficult. Alright, so here we have yet another coaxial cable. This one's rather short. But, size doesn't matter. Unless you're trying to get it from long distances. That was a bad joke. Alright, here we have another phone. Or is it a phone charger? No. This isn't a phone charger. Oh, this is the adapter for the Linksys router. So yeah, we have that. Power adapter for it. That's nice. Let's see, what else do we have? Another Ethernet. Just trying to grab the less interesting stuff first. But you can kind of see what else is in here, so what's the point? We have another Ethernet cable. This one's quite longer than this other one, so yeah, there's that. if you like your cables on the long side. Here we have, okay, well, just go for the interesting one that everybody cares about. Microsoft mouse. It's actually a rather nice looking Microsoft mouse. It's optical. Alright, so you got an optical Microsoft mouse, and hey, it's USB. I was pretty sure it's USB, but it's attached to a PS2, or USB to PS2 mouse port adapter, so it's pretty interesting. Not everyone uses that Emachines in the mouse port. Don't know why it would need to be using the mouse port. Shorted USB port, but some reason behind that, you might as well use that and free up a USB port. And I'm talking nonsense now. Alright. We have another coaxial cable. It's just moderately sized. You gotta you know a lot about a guy by the size of his cables. Here we have two RCA audio cable, or one RCA left and right audio cable, I should say. Looks as if it might be damaged a bit. I don't know. We'll see if it carries the signal or not. And there were another set of RCA audio cables that came with that CD player, and I kind of lied. I tested the CD player, and spoiler alert, it's broken. But here we have a 3.5mm audio jack cable. Pretty useful, although if you get the iPhone 7, probably not going to have that. Don't we love Apple? For this last box, I'm not going to carelessly dump it out like I did the last one, because yeah, this stuff looks a bit nicer than the other one. Not that the other stuff was bad. I mean, it wasn't the best, but this is definitely better. So I'm just gonna point you to two of the main stars of this attraction. I am gonna talk a bit more about this stuff. All right. So I was at this guy's place, going through the basement, getting some stuff. That's where most of the stuff came from. It's been sitting in a basement for who knows how long. Except for the phones. The phones are in a drawer. Anyway. And then this is sitting in the basement. He put this in the box, the stuff that was going to me. He's like, we don't have the power cables for this. My grandkids don't want it. Do you want it? And I, of course, took it, thinking it was just the Super Nintendo and that RF adapter. This, if you don't know, is a Super Nintendo entertainment system. But it's pretty dirty because, again, been sitting in the basement. So I was like, yeah, sweet. We went back upstairs, thinking, you know, sweet, I got a Super Nintendo out of this. But then he's like, there's some more stuff for it in my attic. So I was like, oh, alright, cool. So we went into the attic. We found these two totes sitting basically like that. Sitting like that, and I was like, my first thought was, wow, this is more than just stuff for the Super Nintendo. I think this one was separate, actually. Yeah, this one is, it doesn't matter. I was thinking, wow, this is more than just stuff for the Super Nintendo. He's like, and I was just like, wow. And he said, hey, you want the other stuff? I was like, sure. Are you sure? And then he asked me if I wanted all this stuff, and I was like, sure. I had to make sure he was sure he wanted to give it all to me, but he ended up doing it. So in here, there's an NES. So not only do I have a Super Nintendo, but I have an NES too. And he said he bought these when they came out for his kids, and then they moved out, didn't want them back. His grandkids didn't want them. They've been sitting there, so I got them. Here we have another coaxial cable. Whatever. Here we have an Nes Satellite, which is really nice. I later learned it's a wireless port. It's a wireless controller adapter plus a multi-tap, but it doesn't have the thing that plugs in the NES, so it's really kind of useless to me. Here in this bank thing that he thought was money that he stashed away is actually all the manuals for the Super Nintendo games. Not sure about the NES games. We'll get to those later. Let's see what else do we have in this box. Here we have a Super Nintendo controller. This is an aftermarket one, but this one has turbo on it, I believe. Yeah, normal, turbo, slow. Yeah. So this is a third party, but it was original. It was an original third party one, so it wasn't like a, you know, like a Hyperkin one or some newer one. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We have, what's this big cord? Another coaxial cable, but these are the nice kinds. You don't have to screw and you just kind of have to pop it in. And there's a little short digression, but we have this, which is a paddle to the NES, like a paddle type thing, kind of like what you'd use to play Pong or something. Although it's a bit different. It's more like it's called a quick shot. So just disregard what I just said. I'll have to see what the quick shot is, but I believe it's for the NES. Yeah, it's for the NES. So yeah, there's that. We have a golf ball. Let's see, Top Flight golf ball. Yeah, it says 2 on it. We've got this thingy that says Warzone, and it's a plastic thingy. What do we got? Oh yeah, this is an interesting story. You got this Black & Decker power supply for like a drill or something. The guy who gave me this stuff tried to use this power supply to power the NES. I have no idea if he fried it or not. If he did, oh well, I guess I have a bunch of NES games. I'm hoping he didn't. So we have a manual for Super Mario All-Stars. Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Is this a manual for the Super Nintendo? Epilepsy warning. Projection television warning. Do not use with the front or rear projection television. So what do we have here? We have a registration card for some game. Alrighty, whatever. We have another booklet for the Super Nintendo. Consumer information and precautions. Is this the same one we had before? Yeah, huh. So we got 2 Super Nintendo customer information booklets. What do we have here? G.I. Joe, Capcom, instruction manual. Hey, alright. Track and field, how to play. Konami track and field manual. So here we have a NES controller. Again, a third-party one. Don't have any original controllers, which is kind of a shame, but, you know, what can you complain for free? This one feels good. It says Turbo card, and it's got A, B, and Turbo A and B. Made in China. Alright, what game systems game should we look at first? I think we'll look at the Super Nintendo stuff first. Oh, we also have a wing in here. Fake wing. I think we'll look at the Super Nintendo stuff first, just because that's the console I saw first. So why not? Oh, I dropped this. Sorry. We have NBA Live. NBA Live 96. Might not be interested in... A lot of these are sports games. Just, Judge Dredd. And this one where they started putting ratings on it. It's pretty interesting. And this one has a cover on it. A little protective sleeve. You'll try to be quick with some of these games. NHLPA Hockey 93. NBA Give and Go. NHL 94. EA Sports. NCAA Football 99. Oh wait, that's the guy's jersey number. NCAA Football anyway. Speaking of NCAA basketball. How important for March Madness. See, there we go. I threw in a sports reference. NBA Jam. Killer Instinct. Again with a rating. Super Caesar's Palace. A little bit of gambling. Yeah. We have Kirby's Avalanche. This camera is really bad with its focus, I should say. I don't know if you've probably noticed. It just keeps focusing randomly and it can't stay focused on something. Anyway, here we have Pitfall. Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. WrestleMania the arcade game. Big Hurt. Looks like a baseball game. Family Feud with the protector on it. And again, a lot of this stuff is dirty because it's been sitting in an attic for the better part of 15 to 20 years. So, Tetris 2 with a protector on it. Here we have WCW Superbrawl, wrestling game it looks like. Super WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan on it. Also, it's made by LJN. WWF Raw. See, I know enough to know that was what it was before. It was WW, whatever it is now. The E. Here we have F-Zero. Batman Forever. Spider-Man, X-Men. Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally. Revolution X, Music is the Weapon, featuring Aerosmith. Huh, that sounds interesting. Okay. Super Mario All-Stars. Gotta have this. It's a bit dirty. Hopefully I'll be able to clean it, but hopefully it works. I was pretty sure this one would be in here. Super Mario World. It came with every brand new SNES. There's Super Mario World. And finally, we have Donkey Kong Country. So that's it for the Super Nintendo games. So moving on to the NES stuff, let's start with actually some of the non-games we have in here. Okay, we have a Coaxial Cable. It's to be expected that we'd start having coaxial cables now. And an empty sleeve, which I'm just going to put our first game in it. We have Double Dribble basketball game. Oh, I'm holding it out of frame. We have Double Dribble basketball game. RoboCop. There we go, alright. So next we have RoboCop and protective cover. Not a Nintendo brand cover, but a protective cover. Here we have Double Dragon, and it's really dirty. And it's originally $10, or this was purchased for $10. Probably from a thrift store, I don't know. Here we have Rambo. Still pretty dirty. I'm gonna need to probably spend my weekend giving all this stuff a good clean. That's no big deal. Here we have G.I. Joe. Ninja Gaiden, which looked like it was chewed by something. So, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I believe this is the arcade game. I hope it's the arcade game anyway. This seems to be pretty clean. It's one of the cleaner ones. Konami game. What do we have here? We have, oh yeah, Super C. Contra, which is nice and clean looking. So this will be, just looking at the contacts, this should be able to be played right away. Hopefully, if the NES works. Here we have Super Mario Brothers 3, and I was stuck in this protector. That can't be a good sign. Whatever. Alright. I'm trying to make sure I get this all in frame, but I'm kind of not at the moment, so hopefully I keep everything in frame. Or I'll just have to move the camera. Here we have Super Mario 2, which is, again, stuck in there, so yeah, we need a good clean. And you've guessed it, we have Super Mario Brothers 1 and Duck Hunt. So there's that. Here we have Golf. Nintendo Golf. Just Golf. We have another Nintendo game, Kung Fu. So some of the earlier NES releases. Here we have stuck in really good there. 10-yard fight. This looks like a baseball game. I mean, football game, excuse me. Speaking of football games, football. We have Track and Field by Konami. Burger Time by Data East. Here we have Tom and Jerry, the ultimate game of cat and mouse. Jeopardy! 25th Anniversary Edition. I'm not showing the backs. Whatever, the backs are all going to be the same. Here we have Pretty Beat Up Godzilla for the NES. Monster of Monsters. Here we have Paperboy. I love this game. Here we have Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout with a Funko Land, Bring Home the Fun paper sleeve on it. Here we have Tecmo Bowl, and it's pretty dirty, especially in this grippy thing right here. So we're going to have to get that clean, but whatever. Here we have Super String B-Ball, Nintendo World Cup. 4-player game, ooh. So this might have been the only reason that Nes Satellite was there in the first place. Here we have one of my personal favorites, Marble Madness, which appears to be in pretty good shape. Pretty nice and clean, so there we go. And finally, in a Blockbuster video seal here, we have, if the instruction booklet is right, we have Dr. Mario. So we have the instruction booklet. I think the only one of the only NES games that has an instruction booklet with it. Here we have this, and we have Dr. Mario, which is in pretty good shape because it wasn't exposed to the attic and it was in its protected Blockbuster case for a while. Just to remind, please rewind. Thanks to the end. Blockbuster video. Wow, what a difference. I sure hope this was purchased from Blockbuster, not rented, because then this would stack up tons of late fees, which shouldn't be a big deal anymore because Blockbuster doesn't exist. At least the ones in this area, at least the Blockbuster in this area is closed, so yeah. So that'll about do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you want me to do more of these stuff I got this week type videos. Hey, look, the camera went out of focus. That's nice. Anyway, let me know if you want me to do more of these stuff I got this week type of videos, or if you think they're complete garbage. Either way. And then I'm going to try to release more videos soon. I'm going to try to release videos on most of the stuff I got here, which is not all in the frame, but whatever. Try to release the videos on a lot of the different stuff, just doing random things with them. Maybe. I don't know. Depends if I'm feeling particularly lazy that day. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Like it, dislike it. I really don't care anymore. Goodbye. Please, I do care. I care very much. Please, approve of me. Approve of me. Make me feel good about